When we were last together, we were talking about rule number 4 in the 5 new rules for radio. Sound different. But there's a second half to rule number 4. It's like 4A and 4B, and that's today's topic, 4B. After you figure out how to sound different, how to create that brand sound that aurally differentiates you from others on the air, then you have to be consistent. Sounding different, finding a brand sound is very important, but sticking with that brand sound is even more important. I mean, how effective would Budweiser's Real Men of Genius have been if they just produced one spot? How much impact would Geico's Gecko have had if he'd just lasted, say, 13 weeks? Consistency is the key to great mass media marketing. When you're designing your brand sound, make sure it's something that can be executed dozens of times without getting old. You can do that with a consistent, unique structure or format to the spot. You can do it with consistent characters or consistent situations. You can do it with consistent announce voices. You can even do it with consistent music, although that can be a little limiting. Just be sure that when you lay 12 or 15 spots for your client end to end, that there is a common aural thread running through them. A series of one-off radio concepts is pretty flimsy when compared to a powerful, recognizable, consistent brand sound. Now, one bonus that comes with consistency in a brand sound is this. When the radio is simply playing in the background and people are just hearing it instead of actually listening in any kind of focused way, and your spot comes on with its familiar brand sound, you've made an impression for your brand out of nothing more than a familiar, consistent sound. So, avoid the one-offs. In radio, variety is not the spice of life. Define a different, recognizable sound for your brand and then be consistent. Because your brand sound is a logo for the ear. And really, how often would you advise your client to change their logo? Coming up, we finish the 5 new rules of radio and move on to even more interesting subjects like how to succeed in the approval process. See you then.